Welcome to Yoga Life with Amelia. Join me again for an easy flow. This time we'll do some back bends and twists for an energizing sequence. After warming up, let's start on your belly, facing down, and notice your breath. Scan your body top to bottom and stay here for a while. We are going to be working toward the Sphinx pose, which requires upper back strength and flexibility. Proper positioning of your arms and arm strength also completes the pose. Continue to be mindful of your body and breath before we start. Let's start. Bend your knees and sway your hips side to side. Let your movements be guided by what you feel, and make sure not to force any movements that your body does not want you to do. Do a few repetitions until you feel that you've warmed up the area and have loosened up your lower body. I'll begin by lengthening and straightening my right leg and lifting my whole right leg off the earth, and also doing the same with my left leg. Again, I'm just warming up and feeling the difference between my right and left side. Do a few of this on your own. You're gently working to strengthen your back line of the body in preparation for your upper back bend. Bring your hands by your shoulder area and press your hands or forearms gently and evenly into the ground. Lengthen from the whole upper back. Make sure you're breathing. Exhale in your release. Inhale as you press up gently. Exhale as you release. Be aware that your hips are staying close to the ground and your focus here is on your upper back area. Rest your forehead on your hands and take a few breaths. When you're ready, go ahead and challenge yourself by adding some variations. For example, lifting your feet off the earth, or lifting both your hands and feet together off the earth, requiring more strength in your back line. These are variations in your prone back bends requiring different demands throughout your body depending on what variations you choose. In the Sphinx pose, the shoulders are away from your ears as you're pressing back. Stay here for a few breaths before you come down and rest. Rest in child's pose. This part of the video is a review of my previous videos on variations in child's pose. I'll provide a link below. Choose any arm variation that works for you and that your focus here is lengthening the spine in preparation for our next flow. I hope you were able to do some child's pose variations in preparation for our next sequence. Gather your breath on an inhale. Exhale, be on your hands and knees. Stay in your child's pose. Take a few breaths and pace yourself for the next flow. I'll be adding a twist for thread the needle. I'll be pressing on my left hand as I twist and reach up with my right hand before I bring my right hand down underneath my left shoulder area and rest my right ear or right shoulder. I'll stay here for a few breaths before I reach up and do the opposite side. I inhale to reach up, exhale to release close to the earth. Release in child's pose again and take time to gather your breath. You may add some arm variations here to keep the energy going. In your child's pose, you may invite your hips closer to your heels or focus more on inviting your chest closer to the ground depending on how your shoulder feels. Stay in your child's pose and get ready to repeat the flow. Let's repeat the sequence all the way from the top. Inhale, gather your breath. Exhale, prepare to be on your hands and knees and sink your hips close to the ground for child's pose. On your next breath, come up high on your hands and knees. Prepare for your twist. Inhale to reach up toward the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. Lay your shoulder close to the ground for an upper body twist. As you come out of the pose, be prepared to twist to the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread the needle. Pause here and feel the stretch in your upper back. To come out, get ready for your final child's pose. Walk your hands further forward, sink your hips further down close to your heels. By now, your upper back or maybe your lower back may feel more flexible and easier to work with. If you want, rest your forehead on the ground. Take a few breaths here. We'll prepare for our transition to standing. Arrange your feet underneath you and roll your spine to Tadasana, mountain pose. Spread your weight evenly on both feet as you gather up your breath. We'll take a few moments to review and stretch your shoulders. In standing, bring both arms up overhead. Notice your limits, not only in flexion, but also in side bending. Do any arm variation that you feel your body needs. Working with your breath, go ahead and clasp your hands behind you. Bring your feet wide for a wide-legged stance. In your exhale, fold forward. We'll add a twist, both hands on the ground. In my inhale, I'm reaching with my right hand toward the sky, leaving my left hand on the ground. On my exhale, I'm switching hands, inhaling with my left hand toward the sky. In my exhale, both hands on the ground, keeping my knees bent. When I'm ready, I'm going to walk my feet together, inhaling back to standing Tadasana. Let's keep the energy going and repeat this easy sequence. Let's gather up your breath, inhaling, reaching up toward the sky. Easy side bend on both sides. Gather your hands behind you, clasping your hands, squeezing your shoulder blades, feet apart, wide-legged forward fold. Keep your knees bent and prepare for your twist like you did earlier. Both hands on the ground. In your inhale, reach up with one hand toward the sky. Full breath there. Exhale, release, hands toward the earth. Switch sides. Inhale, reach up toward the sky. Exhale, hands down toward the earth. Walk your feet together. Slowly rise in Tadasana. Reaching up with both arms toward the sky. Gather your breath. Center yourself. Re-establish your foundation before our ending sequence. From standing, slowly find your way to a seated pose. Bring your feet together, press your feet against each other, and bring your knees apart. Gently fold your torso over your hips and invite your chest closer to the ground. Stay here and breathe. When you're done, gather your knees together and roll your spine down and lay your body flat on the ground. Get ready for bridge pose. Bend your knees, press down through your feet, lift your hips high, clasp your hands behind you. Take a full breath there. On your exhale, release everything toward the ground and walk your feet straight in front of you, arms overhead for a final full body stretch. Take time to wind down, as this is one of the most important parts of yoga, is to be able to rest after all the physical postures and lay in your Savasana. I hope you enjoy this flow. Stay tuned for more videos on Yoga Life with Amelia.